visiting sideline, Super Bowl champ John Harbaugh, head coach of the Ravens since 2008. On the other side, Sean McDermott, now in his 9th season as the head man in Buffalo. Mike Tirico, Greg Olsen on hand. The rookie Tyler Luke has the honors. The first Sunday night game of the year, and we are underway here in Buffalo. He'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Bills offense heading out, and they are led by the MVP of the National Football League, 29-year-old quarterback Josh Allen in the prime of his career.
Mike, as I think back to opening day over my years of playing in the NFL, it didn't matter if I was a rookie or going into my 14th season. I think every player goes into that game with just a little bit of extra nerves, thinking, new season, new opportunity. Can I still do this at a high level? And, man, you get through that first game, and it feels like you can finally take a deep breath and let the season unfold. There's going to be a lot of nerves in this one here today, but the team that settles down the fastest and just gets back to playing ball, they're going to have a big advantage coming away with a big win today.
So, from the 36, it is 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground with Cook. And not much there. Good defense. Held to no gain.
So these, Mike, are the body blow runs. They're not big gains. They're nothing fancy. But they really set that physical tone for the rest of the game, where now a good play caller can use some of these early runs to set up something a little bit bigger down the road.
Allen now on 2nd down. Oh, he's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him. Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. In motion goes Cooks. Now Allen facing 3rd and long. They'll set up the screen for Cook. And he'll get a good chunk of that yardage back, but he's still well short of the 1st down. So the drive stalls out, and here's the Aussie, Mitch Wishnowsky, to punt. Ravens send Tylan Wallace back to return. This brought in out past the 20. That could have broken for a bigger return, but as it is, nice job getting his offense a start out past the 30-yard line. It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. Now the first carry for King Henry. That's a nice job keeping his balance in these conditions. A gain of about 5. So from the 37, here's 2nd and 4. Going to go right back to Henry. And he'll get the 1st down there. A pickup of about 5 yards.
It just seems like every time this guy touches the ball, he makes something happen. And not all of his runs are always going to be positive. He's kind of one of those guys that's going to get a 0, a 1, a 2. But it's the home run threat. It's the big plays that really tip the scales in your favor. And you can generate those big explosive plays up.
And he will go all the way. Mark Andrews. Touchdown, Baltimore. Using the tight end to get to the end zone, Greg, it's your old position. You're very familiar with that. That catch and carry. What an ability for your tight end to take it to the house.
Yeah, and this was never really the strength of my game, Mike, but we're seeing so many tight ends around the league who not only are great at securing the catch and making the tough ones, but it's their ability to extend the play after the catch that's separating them, just like we saw here.
Tyler Luke now for the extra point. Through the rain, the kick is good. And the Ravens have their first lead of the new year. They're up 7-0 here in the season opener.
Tyler Luke to kick off for Baltimore.
7-0 is our score as this kick is sent into the air. And this one sent all the way over the back line. No thought of putting this in the landing area. So it'll come out, per the new rule, to the 35-yard line. Play action. Here's Allen. Nowhere to go. He's going to be taken down. Travis Jones. He's got his first sack of the season here early in week 1.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sitting duck for this pass rush.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. In motion goes Cooks. To the air. On 2nd down, here's Allen. Was brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
From the shotgun, it's Allen. A first-time Pro Bowler a year ago, it is Kyle Van Noy working his way in to register his first sack of the new season.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front because right now, their pass protection is breaking down and his quarterback's paying the price for it.
Here's Mitch Wisnowski now. And he's on to punt for the 2nd time in this opening quarter. And it's a good solid return as he takes it back up near midfield. We'll go 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10. Back to throw, Jackson. And they'll take this down inside the 35. Remember, he had the touchdown on the opening drive, and here on drive 2, he gets a first down with that catch.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
On the give, here's Henry. And he's going to be brought down. And with that tackle, we hit the end of the first quarter of play. So 1 quarter in the books on our first Sunday night telecast of the year. It's the Ravens out front. And EA Sports NFL Sunday returns after this. Raven football, quarter number 2 begins. They've got it looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Off the play fake. Jackson. A throw. Left side. Blocked by Andrews. That's his 3rd catch of this first half and good enough for a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 12.
On the handoff, it's Henry. He is met and dropped. A couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too.
The key to great defensive line play is the get-off. When that ball moves, how fast can you get off the ball and get into the backfield? That's exactly what we saw here. Quick read, react, get off the block, take him down for a loss.
3rd and 10.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 9.
From the gun, Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
On for the field goal. A 29-yard attempt.
His kick is good. And the Ravens will extend to a 10-0 lead.
Anytime you find yourself kicking in these elements, Mike, you just can't take anything for granted, especially when it comes to your plant foot, your balance, your control, your footing. It's so important, and give credit. He does a great job here, able to put that one through.
This one crushed. It's over the back line of the end zone. Touchback, and the ball's coming out to the 35. So, Greg, here are the Bills. What a year last year. 13-4, beat the Broncos and the Ravens in the playoffs, but once again ran into Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. Anything that we can say is that one thing to get them to the big game this time?
Well, I mean, we'd probably start with they need Patrick Mahomes to retire. And, but in all seriousness, Mike, I think when you look at Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, it's one of those things where they just happen to exist in a generationally great team in the Kansas City Chiefs, and one of the greatest players we've seen in the last 25 years at quarterback in Patrick Mahomes. So they just need, as hard as it is, they just need to continue to chip away. Just continue to go. They can't make Kansas City the boogeyman, because all of a sudden now that starts to get into your head. Continue to win. Continue to win the division. Continue to get home playoff games. And if they keep knocking at the door, eventually they're going to get over that hump, because Josh Allen and this roster, they are a Super Bowl contending team. They just got to find a way to get over the hump in the game that matters.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Design run here for Allen. And just a short gain there, down to the 38.
They went to the design quarterback run, and there just wasn't a lot of space for the quarterback to operate. You can see him kind of waiting for some of the blocks to develop. Never transpired. Didn't get a whole lot going. Short game.
And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
First down. First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
In motion goes Cooks. 2 minutes remain here in this first half. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Conclusion of what has been a wild opening Sunday of football. Let's check in with Scott Hansen and see what he has brewing for halftime. Scott?
Wild indeed. Thank you much, Mike. Coming up, we're going to take a look back at what happened earlier today, scores and highlights from around the NFL. That's all coming up at the half. But let's get you back to Orchard Park for the final 2 minutes of the second quarter.
So now they'll throw it with Allen. Looked like a lateral there, but now it's a free football.
And they should consider themselves lucky. You can't let a pass rusher through that quickly and not expect there to be consequences. Fortunately, they're at least able to fall on it and prevent this from being...
And the rush gets home. Hill goes down. They got him. Roquan Smith. What a way to kick off the new year. 2 sacks in the first half of the opener. Here's the punter now, as he's on to punt for Buffalo. And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback, and they come out to the 20-yard line. So on come the Ravens. And Greg, what a story again last year. 12-5, 13-4 the year before that. Regular season, they have been as good as almost anyone in the NFL. But it's the story if you're living in the AFC. Get over that hump, whether it's Buffalo or Kansas City. It's hard to get to the big game on this side of the draw.
Oh, there's no question. And I think if you're Baltimore and you're Buffalo and you look around, you say, man, we should have a couple Super Bowl titles. If we were living in a non-Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid era.
He's hit after the catch, and the ball comes free. And fortunately, one of his teammates there to save him. He'll wind up getting enough to pick up the first down. In the shotgun, here's Jackson. That's going to wind up incomplete. Not much time remaining. Time for one more snap here in this first half. Second and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time. We'll keep this one on the ground. And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this first half of play.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Today is the day we've been working towards all summer, the debut of our new halftime show. So without further ado, let's roll. Our trip around the NFL starts now at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. The Packers at home to take on the Lions in the NFC North. And this one, I'm not quite sure what to make of this. From there, it's off to SoFi Stadium. We're looking on the Rams as they host the Houston Texans. And it's Puka Nacua. He's going to bring this one in, and away he goes. 77 yards for the touchdown. The Rams wind up winning this one in front of the home crowd to begin the new season. One more to show you, and it's out in Seattle, the Seahawks taking on the San Francisco 49ers. And this is Kenneth Walker III. Gets past the line of scrimmage, gets room, gets it in, 22 yards on the touchdown. The Seahawks find a way to pull this one out as they escape with the narrow win. With that, a look at what's already transpired and what's still to come in a busy first week of the new season. Meanwhile, in our game, just one touchdown in the first half, 10-0 your score, as we get you back out to the second half and rejoin Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
First half played out a bit as we expected. We'll see if there's a surprise coming up. Both teams set to go, and the second half is underway. And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. Greg, when you step back and look at this AFC North, Baltimore and Pittsburgh, their rivalry now really for a couple of decades has in so many ways defined this division, and they set the tone for everything that happens when you are in an AFC North game.
Yeah, and you talk about divisions having identities, they have their culture. Really at the top, Baltimore and Pittsburgh kind of want to play a similar style game, strong on defense, great run game. Obviously, Baltimore adds the extra element with Lamar Jackson. To me, the fascinating team, though, is what kind of jump can we expect, Mike, from the Cincinnati Bengals?
I agree with you, because if you think about the toughness and the physicality, Cincinnati can put up points in an electrifying fashion. And even the 1 year Cleveland was up near the top of the division, they did that as well. But you come back to the defensive side of the ball, and when I look at these teams, Greg, I just think, man, these are defenses that can stop anybody in the league, and that's where you've got to invest in this division.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so fascinating about Cincinnati is they're kind of the outlier. They're the pass-heavy, they're the spread attack. They've got unbelievable weapons on the outside. Obviously, Joe Burrow, quarterback. But it was the defense, and you said it, their inability to be as good on the defensive side of the ball as Baltimore, as Pittsburgh, traditionally, but especially last year, is really what allowed them to be the odd man looking in when they missed the playoffs. So I think if Cincinnati can just improve a little bit on defense, they have the offense.
And he'll take this one in. Derrick Henry, touchdown Ravens. Luke now for the extra point. He's got it. And the Ravens move further out in front. It is now 17-0.
Bills nothing. Tyler Luke to kick off for Baltimore.
Now, after the touchdown, Luke is back out to kick this one away. And no chance to return this one through the end zone for a touchback. The Bills offense ready for their first possession of this second half. Greg, this AFC East, a division that really has been dominated by the Bills. The 5 straight division titles. It's hard to see who can knock them off that perch right now.
Yeah, and I think until someone decides that that's going to change, I think you just have to assume that Buffalo remains the king of the East.
Now Cook loses the football. But it looks like the Bills are going to get it back. A fortunate break there.
Now, obviously, there's never a good time to fumble the ball. It's probably the thing that teams stress the most is ball security. But it makes it a little bit easier knowing that your own team was able to fall on top of it, and at least you can maintain possession.
They go play action now. Here's Allen. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They got him. And as Malachi starts, the rookie safety, drafted in the first round, gets in for the sack.
Mike, this isn't real complicated. You're just not going to win a lot of NFL games when you continue to give up sacks at the rate that they are. I mean, this is just a complete disaster for this offensive line, and if they don't get it fixed, this game could be a runaway.
He connects with Palmer on that one. And he'll be stopped short of a first down, and that will necessitate a call to the punt team. It's fourth down.
It's fourth down.
The Bills bringing on the punt team. He's on to punt it for the fourth time tonight. Here's Wallace to return. That's a nice job of making things more manageable for this offense as he takes it back beyond the 25-yard line. John Harbaugh there, the Super Bowl winning coach of the Ravens, as his guys get ready for their next possession. You know, Greg, early on, it's always new faces in different places. Off-season movement, what caught your eye?
I think there's so many good ones, right? You talk about Stephon Diggs. He ends up in New England. And Cooper Kupp now. He's moving on to Seattle from the Rams. But I think it's the guy the Rams signed to replace him, Davante Adams. I know he's not the youngest anymore, but watching him play in New York with Aaron Rodgers last year with the Jets, he can still run. He can still make every catch. He can still go up and compete at the high point. I think you put Davante Adams with Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, in that offense run by Sean McVay. I think that's a sneaky, maybe not a sneaky because he's a really household name, but I think that's a great signing by the Rams.
And always interesting from the offseason, the quarterback movement and unique ties. Some of the biggest names were or now are Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, and now the guy that is going to line up behind center for Seattle, Mike, is Sam Darnold. And, of course, we all saw that incredible season he had last year in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell and Justin Jefferson and that really dynamic Vikings offense. So now he goes to Seattle. I think he's going to have an inspired Cooper Kupp. He was let go from the Rams. If he's healthy, he's a big weapon. Jackson Smith and Jigba. He has some pieces in that puzzle that he can push the ball downfield to. So I'm excited.
And now, will you look at this? It's a fake. That is down the field and caught. And they will finally bring him down, but what a call there. The fake works. Big yardage. And the first down.
They pulled out all the stops on that fake, Mike, and it's one thing to call that in practice. But then to have the guts to call that and execute it in a real game, I mean, that takes some real confidence, and it worked out to perfection and just an incredible play all around.
That one down the field, but they cannot connect, and it's incomplete. We'll try again here, 2nd and 10. On the option, they give it to Henry. I don't think that was going too far either way. Defense right on it. They hold him to no gain. Here's a 3rd and 10.
It's 3rd and 10.
To throw is Jackson. He finds his receiver. That's Bateman. And he will get into the end zone. Rashad Bateman. Touchdown, Baltimore. A terrific play all the way around. Finished off by the receiver, who not only made the grab, but Greg turned it up and takes it into the end zone.
And that's the tricky part, Mike, that transition from receiver to runner. And in this case, he does it flawlessly. Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then get upfield and get yourself in the end zone.
On is Luke to add the extra point. His kick is good, and the Ravens are able to extend out to a 24-0 lead.
Bills nothing. Tyler Luke to kick off for Baltimore.
Now, after the touchdown, Luke is back out to kick this one away. On the return, this is Strong. And he is stopped at 25. The drive will begin there. So now here comes the Buffalo offense heading back out onto the field. You know, Greg, you start to think about, okay, who are the teams that didn't make the playoffs last year that have a chance this year? If it happens every year, we just have to identify who they are. Who are a couple top of mind for you as we start 2025 here?
You know, as I start in the AFC, I think the Cincinnati Bengals, and you got to think the way their season ended last year, they rattle off 5 wins straight, really on the back of Joe Burrow. We could have made the argument that they're a playoff team. Joe Burrow was the best player. He was incredible. Most weeks, Mike, he single-handedly carried that offense. Now, new defensive coordinator and Al Golden coming from the college ranks. Can he just make that defense in Cincinnati average? Because if they just play a little bit better with that high-profile offense, I think they're a team. They might not win the division with Baltimore, but they're going to be close and maybe at least get one of those wild card spots.
Why don't you flip it over? Who are the guys you're watching in the NFC?
You know, I think Dallas is going to find themselves, just the fact that I know the division is difficult. Obviously, Philadelphia remains really strong. Does Washington kind of regress a little bit back now in year 2? They were the high-profile, big splash team of last year. Do they regress to the median? Time will tell. But I think healthy Dallas, healthy Dak, healthy Micah Parsons, like that roster that we saw play last year is not the roster on paper that we expected to see. So I think Dallas has a chance. I think San Francisco always is going to be a team, again, dealt with their own injuries last year, with McCaffrey and all the stuff on defense. So I think San Francisco and Dallas are two perennial teams we expect to be in the playoff hunt. They missed out last year. I wouldn't be shocked to see them back in it again this year.
That's Palmer, the man in motion. The pressure gets there, and down he goes. Travis Jones, starting the season with a bang. His second sack in the season opener.
This offense, they just can't establish any sort of rhythm. There's just no way to sustain any scoring drives when your quarterback is being pressured and sacked this often.
Throw it on second down. This defense hitting their ears back, coming to get him again. So backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. From the gun, Josh Allen. That one downfield for Cooks. To the end zone, it's intercepted. It's the safety, Kyle Hamilton. And the Ravens are going to take over here at their own 22.
So all game, we've seen him take the approach as just being a game manager. But one thing you have to do if that's the case is you have to protect the ball. You can't turn the ball over, especially if you're struggling to push the ball downfield. He got a little reckless that time, and the defense made him pay.
So 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 22. They'll start out on the ground with Henry. Up the sideline at the 35. And he is out of bounds at the 45. And the big night continues. That last run gives him yardage to put him over 100 for the game. On 1st down, they'll stay on the ground with Henry. And he'll just hope to stay on his feet here, picking his way forward for a gain of about 4. Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. And no place to go. He's hit and taken down behind the line.
And after that negative run, I think this changes the play call now on 3rd down. So this offensive line has to be a lot better on 1st and 2nd down to gain positive yards. Stay on track, because you don't want to be in 3rd and pass too often in today's NFL.
And he'll be taken down, but they are in business inside the 30-yard line. They'll come up here 1st and 10. They'll run it with Henry. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
On the tackle. 1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 27-yard line.
So 2 minutes left to play in the 2nd half. Greg and I back for the conclusion in a moment. It is 2nd and 9. Now Jackson on the move. Throw on the run is complete. And a good job rallying to the football, holding just a gain of a yard and sets up 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
On play action, here's Jackson. throws incomplete. They really ratcheted up the coverage there, and they force fourth down.
Brings up fourth down.
13.
Now Jackson. This one incomplete. The defense up to the challenge there. They force the incompletion, and they'll take the ball over on downs. The Bills offense ready to get back at it. Oh, Greg, this is going to take a lot of self-reflection here. You build up so much for the season opener. To struggle like this has got to be a tough feeling.
Yeah, we've never spoken to a team before their week 1 matchup where they didn't tell us this is the best training camp they've ever had, it's the best roster they've ever had. I mean, how many times have we heard that? So in this case, though, Mike, I think you have to be careful that you don't overcorrect. Of course, this did not go according to plan. This is not what they've been building to through their entire offseason schedule, but it's still also just one game. So don't throw everything in the garbage and start all over. Don't throw out all the hard work from the previous offseason. Stay the course, fix what went wrong, improve, and move on to week 2.
The Bills going to use the first of their timeouts, and they stop it with 22 ticks left on the clock here in the fourth. First down, Allen. Looking down the field there, but it falls incomplete. Try again. It's 2nd and 10.
It's 2nd down and 10.
One more time going up top with Allen. He doesn't put it away, and the ball is out. One of the Ravens has it. Still going. And he is going to bring this one back. It is a fumble recovery for a defensive touchdown. And Greg, you talked about it all week. Not just stop them with the defense, but make impact plays, and that is as big a play as you can ask for.
Yeah, across the league, Mike, this continues to be a huge point of emphasis. Every defensive coach starts practice with takeaway circuits. How can we find ways to take the ball away? In this case, they force the fumble, scoop, score, 6 points.
Luke now for the extra point. He's got it. And the Ravens move out even further ahead. It is now 31-0.
Tyler Luke to kick off for Baltimore.
Down to the final few seconds of this one as the kick is away. To return, here's Ray Davis. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
A final shot now from Allen. He'll air one out for Palmer. And the final throw of the game winds up incomplete. And that will do it. This one comes to an end. So it is a win here for the visitors, the Ravens. They move to 1-0, getting the victory to begin the new campaign. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say good night from Buffalo.